Welcome back to the show. His first story was published at the tender age of 9, and since then he's gone on to have a successful career writing children's books. I'd like to welcome Peter Millett to the show.
Hi, Sarah.
Great to have you. Now, tell me about this 9-year-old publication. Where was your work published, and what was it?
Well, a very illustrious publication, the New Zealand Herald. And,
it is illustrious.
It is. Funnily enough, we just moved house and I found the original winning certificate. I think I won $1. So it was tremendous.
So was it some kind of short story or children's story competition?
Just children publish short rhyming poems or short stories. And I think, to be honest, my mum helped me do it.
You shouldn't admit this now. But was that the start of your... Was that when you knew that that's what you wanted to do, to be a children's... or to be a writer?
Yeah, I think so. And around that time, Pam Ayres was hugely popular with her rhyming stories. I loved her work. Spike Milligan, Bad Jelly and the Witch, we listened on the radio shows. You know, just something clicked in the back of my mind. But I didn't think you could ever do it as a job. And you can, which is surprising, yeah.
Did you ever do anything else, or was this the only job that you've actually had?
Yeah, no, I never planned to do it as a career initially. I worked as a travel agent and I wanted to see the world, and that was an easy way to do it. But just, you know, you kind of hit 30, then you kind of hit 40 and you think, well, do I want to do this forever? No, I want to do something fun. And then having children was the big difference, something you can do with your children and write stories for your children. So that's when the change really took over.
Are your children boys, girls, or both? I know you've got a 6 and an 11-year-old.
Yes, Jeffrey is my son, he's 11, and he is the architect behind the latest Boy Zero book. And Georgia is 6. And they are great test beds. They're not easily fooled by writing, so it has to be good to get them laughing. Yeah. When
you say your son's the architect, what do you mean by that? And tell me about your books, your Boy Zero wannabe hero.
Yeah, that came from a conversation with Jeffrey. I said to him, imagine you woke up one morning with superpowers. Would anything cause you fear? And he surprised me. He said, yes, 2 things. Hairy spiders and giving a speech in front of the class. And I thought... Well, look, from the, you know, an adult couldn't think like that. And I thought, what a wonderful idea for a character. So we took it from there, and Jeffrey just kind of watched what I was doing to make sure it was cool or interesting or funny. And between the 2 of us, we created the first book. You know, this is a once-in-a-lifetime chance. He's 11 now. In a few years' time, he won't want Dad hanging around with... No.
He'll be wanting a cell phone, as we've been discussing, and wanting to go on.
That's right.
So these are these magical years. Now, I read your first book with my daughter last night. She's only just turned 7, so it's probably for slightly older kids in terms of being able to read it. Some of the words were a bit hard, like iguana, but she really enjoyed it. And I loved the, you know, right at the beginning, the poor kid smashes his letterbox, doesn't he? He can't sort of control his powers.
No, he's, I described him before to someone, imagine at school they pick a sports team, the captains pick teams, he's the guy who's last. And, you know, unfortunately that does happen, but the surprising factor is he is full of superpowers, so they soon learn to change their selections, yeah. So
tell me about the process of getting these books published and what your dreams are for the books. I presume you're wanting bigger than the New Zealand market?
Yes, yeah, and look, you know, I love writing for New Zealand, but you've got to have a universal approach. So, look, Spike Milligan is where I started with my love of humour. So England was the obvious destination. Yes. I was so fortunate. I worked through a lot of books that are available in schools, which turned up being available in British schools. And then one thing led to another. I phoned them up, physically phoned them and said, look, I've got an idea for a superhero series. It's a bit wild, it's a bit wacky. Would you like a look? That person said, thanks, but no thanks. But they very fortunately referred me to somebody else. And you know what the old boys network is like, or the old girls network in this case. And so over a period of a couple of years, we managed to get some interest, and then that went a step further to someone saying, we'll take it. And that was a life changer for me, definitely. And the company was Faber and Faber. And look, you know, The Iron Giant, I read that as a kid. All of those fantastic books. I can't believe what's happening now. So I'm so excited.
So you say it's been a life changer in what way? I mean, clearly money would be one thing. What else? How else has it changed your life, getting this opportunity?
Well, the key thing was, to be a writer, you have to do something else at the same time. And that, for me, was daddy daycare. Now, both kids are at school. So I said to my wife, OK, it's very quiet in the house. I need to be providing some more reasonable salary. And that really... that opportunity came up a month after my daughter Georgia started school. So that put me in a different direction. if that hadn't happened, I'm not sure if we'd be talking here today.
Oh, look, congratulations. It's such a great thing to hear about success, particularly with something as challenging and difficult as writing for kids. Tell me about, you know, what your wife said when you had this success. She must have been incredibly proud of you, particularly because you had been doing the house husband thing and putting all that time into the family.
Yeah, well, look, you know, and mixed with it, it's about time as well. Because, you know, all credit to Ruth, she has worked, she's a teacher, she's worked right throughout the whole process. She's done the real job, and she's taken a punt with me that this would work. So, yeah, a mixture of hitting the roof and okay, you know, we're running a bit tight on cash here, so I'm glad it happened now. But look, I'm able to pay her back. I've been invited to the Edinburgh Book Festival this year, and I'm taking her with me. And that is just to say, look, thank you for investing in what, you know, this journey was unpredictable, and this is a big reward, so, yeah.
Oh, well, that's great. Oh, how fabulous, the Edinburgh Book Festival. Well, I hope you have a wonderful time. Congratulations. Great to speak to you, from Auckland, and best of luck with the sales of your book here in New Zealand as well. They're a great series.
Thank you, Sarah.